Oh, I'm back over here. I have missed being on this side of the. I'm not going to say this side of the camera, but I've missed being on this side of my room with all of this like stuff back here. I do have to like organize it a little bit, but I have missed it so much, so I'm so excited to be here again. I'm really liking. I like decided to do this whole new setup for my art space, and I'm really liking it. I'm really excited, and you get to see like more of over here, so I can, well, maybe theoretically, so I can kind of like do something with this wall, put more art on there. I kind of have a lot of different options, so that's always really, really exciting. And if you just clicked onto this video, hi, hello there. I am so glad to see you. If you're new to this channel, hello, my name is Narcissa. I am doing art videos. Traditionally, I have kind of done a little bit of everything. For those who have known me a very, very long time, you may remember a time when I did drag race reviews. It was probably, I think, All Stars 3 when I was doing drag race reviews, and you can still find them up. I'll put in like links where you can kind of find them. They do still exist. I had so much fun doing reviews of Drag Race, but that was back in the day where you really had to wait a lot longer between seasons. And so the reason I kind of stopped was like, I was not like one of these people, like kind of the Drag Race reviewers now, which do like ranking videos and all this other stuff. I was very much like, I just want to review the episodes, and then, you know, that's kind of the end of it. But a lot of people now kind of do like things in between seasons, whatever time there is in between seasons, where, you know, they kind of find different things to do, little ranking videos. And so I just didn't know what to do with like a full year at that point in time between episode or between new seasons. So I just kind of fell off and I stopped doing Drag Race reviews. I got into video essays for a little bit and I did enjoy that. And then I was doing kind of just a mix of different things. I did some makeup videos. So I've done kind of a little bit of everything, but I am kind of coming back to my roots this time around for this video, because this is not exactly a Drag Race review, but it's not a Drag Race review. So it's so this is, can we just talk about how wild this is really fast before I get into the video? It is so wild that for season 9 of All Stars, they did a 2-part premiere. Basically, it's just 2 episodes were released, and that the second episode happened to be a paintball. And I had already been planning to do a acrylic pour based on the Queens of All Stars 9. Like, I just think that's such a fun, cool coincidence that you just cannot predict. So I was originally going to do the acrylic pour based on their promos. I'm glad that I didn't, because ultimately too many of them were going to be too similar. Although looking at the pours that I ended up with, these are pretty similar too. So, woo. Okay, so now that you've seen the sort of process, you kind of have an idea of what they look like. They do change a bit when they dry, but I'm going to start with the first one that kind of premiered on the episode, and that is Angeria. Now, I have mixed feelings about this, right? Because first of all, yellow is not my favorite color, and I think a lot of people talked about this on the episode, but like she kind of didn't really do a whole lot with the like custom look. Like it was basically yellow. People said there was like some chartreuse in there, so I did try and include, I don't know if you can even tell, I did try and include a little bit of like green in there. I think it kind of just got washed away by the yellow. It's very like lemony. It's just not my favorite. And again, I mean, because it was a very kind of plain look, I stuck to that, and I have now just this very plain yellow canvas that you can't even really tell was like a pour because there's nothing like going on here. I mean, I probably, and the green just blends in so well, I probably could have done like white with it to kind of give it a little more contrast, but you know, I was trying to stick, the thing that I really wanted to do with this is stick as close as I could to the energy of the look and kind of just stick as close as I could to the vibe of the look and just all of that. So this is what I ended up with. It's not my favorite. I'm going to be honest with you. Angeria's look was not my favorite. I do enjoy her. I loved her on season 14, but this look just was not my favorite, and this art piece is not my favorite. I gotta say, most people who have reviewed this have said kind of what I feel about this, which is this was not Chanel's best look. The colors are really just all over the place. So I had a very difficult time with this pour. I will be honest with you. But here it is. It's the first time I think I would say I've successfully done yellow in an acrylic pour, because as you've seen from other pours, yellow can be a very, very difficult and challenging color that does not always work. And I feel like this was the first time that I really can say I was successful at it. Do I like it? No, not really. I mean, I do like the way the orange kind of happened right here. I wish the darker blue would have blended better and like this would have come out better, but overall I like this about as much as I like Chanel's, which is to say not at all. And I guess, is this yellow or is this like a lime green? I honestly cannot tell. I think her look, it's supposed to be a lime green, but I feel like when I did it like a yellow. It's kind of both. I don't know. I really don't. This, again, this is not one of my favorites. The only part that I like is like this middle part where the orange is, but the rest of it I just do not care for. So I feel like I'm 0 for 2 at this point with these paintings, but you know, the whole point was to do it and show you what I came up with. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm not pleased with this. I mean, it's fine. The colors are not great. I just don't think these colors work together. And I think it probably, I don't know if it would have made a difference if I had done it as like a pour versus a, because is this the one I did as like a regular pour versus a blowout? I think I did this as a regular pour, actually, because I tend to do acrylic blowouts more than anything. But I think with this one, I was so concerned that they were going to mix too hard that I just did it as a actual pour. And I'm just, I don't know. It's not as exciting as when you do a blowout. I think there's more movement, but for this one I really didn't want the colors to merge, and I knew that they would more if this was a blowout. So I think this is the one that I just did as a pour, and I don't think it made a difference. It, you know, it's still, it is what it is. It's not my favorite. The next one I have is Roxy Andrews. Now Roxy's I actually really think is pretty. Is it something that I would keep necessarily? No, just because I do think it's kind of plain, but I think it's pretty. And technically, I mean, if you go by how the outfit like looks, it would be this way rather than this way, which is how I normally do these. But she did have like the red up top, and then she had the sort of gradient gray black going down the dress. So I really do like this. I think this was successful. I think I did what I wanted to do with this. You know, I think with an acrylic pour or even an acrylic blowout, a gradient is kind of hard to do, but I don't think I did half bad with this. I think it really, you know, it gives the energy, it gives the essence. So I'm not too mad about this. I will say, you know, like I said, my original issue with the promo was that so many of the promos look similar. And then I realized that 3 of these looks are like black, white, and red. So I guess I can't really say that these are too similar, or the promo was going to be too similar when there's 3 looks that are white, black, and red. So yeah. Anyway, so next, speaking of the white, black, and red, we have Gottmik. Now, for this one, I really wanted something that was like very, you know, kind of punk rock energy. I wanted something that definitely gave the vibe of Gottmik. You know, they had the black and red and a little bit of white, but mostly it was just kind of like this black and red and like punky vibe. I did consider like writing on this. You know, I do have like these Posca paint markers, so I could have written like some, you know, riot punk. And I thought about it because, you know, normally when I do my acrylic pours, I do like to kind of, you know, add different things to them. But honestly, I don't necessarily feel like it needs it. I like the energy and kind of vibe of it. I don't know, maybe I'm too critical. Maybe that's my issue. I'm sure that I am, but I just feel like it's like, okay, it's interesting and maybe it's like punk rock, but it's, I don't know, it's just not my favorite. Okay, so the next up, we got to talk about this because Nina West's was a challenge. I love Nina. I do think this is very much her season. I feel like she is known as the charity queen, so I definitely feel like I hope she does good because I do enjoy her. I think she's a lot of fun, just like I enjoy Gottmik. But this look that she presented was not great. So naturally, I had some trouble here because I really wanted to stay true to the essence of it, but I also kind of wanted to not do exactly what she did. And I feel like if I did exactly what she did, it's not going to turn out the greatest. So I kind of had I took some creative liberties with this, I will say. Was I successful? You can decide. I did actually 2. And I'll show you both versions. I'm going to show you the one I kind of ended up liking. It's the first one I did and the one I ended up liking best. Oh, I got to take these push pins out. No spoilers. So this is the one I did. This was a blowout. And I actually, I mean, I don't like this top part that looks like mayonnaise for some reason. But I like this overall for Nina's. I'm not going to be a shady bitch and say that I think this is better than what she presented. And I could very easily do like little polka dots in white just to kind of like contrast. But, you know, I kind of like this. I think this is cool how this came out. You know, it's so much different from anything else that I've done. And I feel like as acrylic blowouts go, and like this is the first time I'd ever done like this type of idea of like pouring the white and then doing the colors and like kind of trying to, you know, make them happen like this. And I really think this came out really good. Like this could have been so much worse. And I was worried that it was gonna be worse. And I will show you, I did do another version, which I do think came out worse. And that version is this. This kind of, from far away, it looks like a tie-dye thing, but up close, it's kind of a nightmare. A lot went wrong with this one. I will say I like the vibrancy of like the green and the blue and what little purple there is in this corner. I feel like this one is a bit more vibrant in terms of colors than this one. And I don't know if I must not have done a white. No, I did the white because it's right there, I think. But I don't know why. This one's just so much more vibrant in the colors. This one kind of feels like a little more, not muted in a bad way, but definitely a little more muted. Of the 2 of them, this one I feel like is not my favorite. This, you know, the red and the yellow and all of that got really carried away with me or got really carried away. And I do feel like this one is more enjoyable to look at. It's fun. But I will say, I don't necessarily think like either of them give what I want in terms of like rainbow. You know, I think doing a rainbow acrylic pour, I've seen people do it really interestingly. And like, I think an acrylic blowout can be really fun. I like the technique that I used. Maybe on a bigger canvas this would have worked, but on like an 8x10 that I did this on, I just don't think it really worked as well as I had hoped. So yeah, I don't know. This one I just definitely do not like. I kind of like this area, and like again, I like the vibrancy, but this whole big giant yellow green catastrophe I just cannot stand. So this one, I think for Nina, I think this was a lot more successful. So you know what, I'm gonna say I like that. Okay, now I will say this one I really actually enjoy. I think with Miss Vanjie's, you know, I kind of went for the, you know, Puerto Rican flag colors that she went for. I didn't do the stars. Obviously, you know, I'd have to draw those in, and I still could. It almost looks like the French flag, to be honest. So yeah, nothing I can do about that. But, you know, I do think this is really, really fun and really, really interesting. I love the vibrancy. I love the way the movement in the like blue here with the white. I love that. I do really love, this one's actually really pretty, but you know, it looks more like a French flag for one thing. And I don't know, it just isn't, you know, it's more interesting to me. And again, I feel like acrylic blowouts tend to be more visually interesting to me than a straight acrylic pour most of the time. But especially like this, like the blue and the white right here, like if I could just take out this red and just have like the blue, now it looks like a bomb pop. Can I just say this is like a melted bomb pop, and then I'll just keep it and it's just like a bomb pop. That's what this is now. I'm sorry, Vanjie, I adore you, but this is now my bomb pop, because that's what it looks like, and that's the energy it gives me. So, but I really like this bottom part, although I had... I don't think you can see it on camera, which thankfully, I had some weird issues with the white that I used. It was so chunky, and it's still wet. There's still like chunks of it. I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't like that. So now let me just say this. What can I say about plastiques that has not already been said? But wow. I'm just going to say this. I don't think this look entirely, or this painting entirely captures the majestic magnificence that was Plastic Tiara's work and what she did. I do think the like red and white and all of that, I think that's very interesting. I think the gray is like as like the natural body contours kind of thing. It's pretty. I don't dislike this, but it's very hard when someone's like whole outfit was like body painted on, you know, like unless I'm doing that myself and hand drawing that, which I don't think I have the skills for. I'm gonna be honest with you. I could try, but I'm pretty sure I just don't have those skills. There's no way you can really compare. And honestly, even if I did that, that's not really the spirit of like this whole challenge that I've given myself to like make the essence of the outfits into, you know, these paintings. It's not the point of it. The point is not to recreate their outfits exactly. It's to put the essence of their outfits. Do I think this kind of works in that regard? Yeah, I mean, it's got the red and white kind of blend, which her outfit did, and the little bit of gray to represent like the body contours, and it looks like very natural curvature, let's say, but it's not, I mean, hers was such a cool look. So like, it's not really comparable, but I tried. So, you know, that's what I can say is that I did in fact try. And what more can you ask of me, right? And last but not least, we have Georges. Now, I don't know if any of this is going to show up on camera, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, there it is. I don't know what happened with this blue, that this like had this effect like this. I've never seen this with an acrylic pour that I've done. So I have no earthly idea what happened here, or with an acrylic blowout, I should say. Because this is literally just white and light blue. How these like random spots ended up in this like this, I don't know what at all happened, but it did. So yeah, we're just gonna have to live with it. Do I think it kind of gives the energy that Georgis's outfit did? Yeah. I mean, I will say when she painted on the palm leaves, that was definitely a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, it's still kind of, I feel like it gives vaguely the same energy. It's definitely the same colors. It's very, very pretty. I don't dislike this. It almost looks like a really, it would look like a sky, but these like random dark spots here are just really getting me. I don't know what, can you see that? I don't know what happened there, but like, this is weird. Well, that is it. So you know what? I gotta say, if nothing else, I had so much fun making these. Do I like all of them? No. Do I think all of them are good or interesting? No. Do I like all of the queens on this season and I love that they're playing for charity? Absolutely. I think that's amazing. And I am so excited for the rest of this season. And I kind of think it's an amazing coincidence that I had been planning to do this. And it just so happens that this is what this episode was about, was a paintball. It just so happened that this worked out perfectly and timed perfectly. So, you know, it's those little tiny things that just work out really well. So I'm not mad about it. I'm very excited. Yeah, that is the video. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to comment down below. Tell me who was your favorite look in the ball and who was your favorite painting. You can also subscribe to this channel. You can also become a member of this channel. You can also become a member of my Patreon where you get early access and behind the scenes. I have a lot of big things coming. I am putting up a blog, so I'm going to be working on that regularly. I'm going to be doing new blog posts on Thursdays, I think is what my plan is. Been having a little bit of trouble with the website. I am so sorry if you've been trying to click on it and it's been weird. WordPress is giving me a lot of grief. Let me just put it that way. I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but that's a whole other thing. But I am so excited because I have a lot of things that I'm going to be working on in the coming weeks and months. So I cannot wait to share that all with you guys. I'd like to do more acrylic pour paintings inspired by Drag Race queens. I have an idea for one starting for Pride that I'm excited about, but I feel like I have not thought this all the way through. I don't know how this is actually going to work, but my tentative idea is like choosing my favorite drag queens to represent a different color of the Progress Pride flag. Oh, wow, I always struggle with that. Progress Pride flag. That will be this one. I really think it would be interesting. And I have a lot of queens that I think would fit them really brilliantly. But I'm not sure how this is going to work. Because, again, it's like, if it's a single color representing this queen, you know, that gets a little tricky. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do it in which it's not just, you know, another Angeria situation where it doesn't look like anything happened. So if you'd like to see that, of course, subscribe, comment down below, let me know. And yeah, until next time, stay devilish and see you next Tuesday. Ooh, I'm